This is Liz Coyne with Light Reading. I'm here at Big Communications event in Austin with Dirk Bernhardt, CEO of P3 Communications. Dirk, thanks for joining me today.
Hey Liz, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about P3 Communications and your role in the wireless ecosystem.
I'd be very glad to. That's my favorite topic, by the way. We're a consulting, testing, and engineering company for the wireless ecosystem. We have a bunch of engineers that provide optimization services for network carriers, field testing services for handset OEMs, also network measurement services, testing services, benchmarking, everything that helps wireless networks become better and help the carriers make better decisions.
Okay. So there must be some gaps in the ecosystem for your company's business model. So can you tell me about what those gaps are and why?
Yeah, it's a really fast environment that we're working in, but every now and then it can take some time and analyze where we stand.
Okay.
So we identified three major gaps that are not really addressed by most of the companies right now in the measurement ecosystem. First one is the measurement methodology gap. You probably heard about drive testing, where we drive around with cars and take measurements, really deep measurements. Walk testing, the same in inside, indoors, and also crowdsourcing is the third one.
Okay.
Turns out none of the other companies really combine all of this and take all of the strengths of the three measurement methodologies. So this is why we started our P3 crowdsource initiative a couple of years back, and now we provide a completely 360-degree overview of network performance.
And who do you provide that performance to? The service providers, the wireless operators?
Yeah, this is mostly the carriers. Again, we help them optimize their networks, so they need proper analysis of the network performance. We also do a little bit of public benchmarking, especially in Europe, not so much here in North America. Other companies do that. We do mostly private benchmarking, support the engineers. It comes to the second gap. The second gap is really an analysis gap. All of the carriers that I talk to tell me we have more data than we actually can consume.
Right.
Nobody has time to analyze that. It's different sources, etc. So what we do is we provide this analysis. We take measurements and from these different sources, bring them together, and provide actionable data for you to make better decisions where to invest into a network, which services to optimize, and also where you stand compared to your competition, what your competitor is doing.
Right.
Do they deploy carrier aggregation? How do they use their spectrum? There's of high interest for you for the carriers to steer their investments in their networks.
So basically, service providers can improve their customer experience overall, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, but they need actionable data for that and analysis. So otherwise, you have a bunch of measurements that tell you nothing. There's hundreds of key performance indicators, which by itself is it doesn't really make sense. We provide deep analysis, scoring and dashboards for management on the top level to make investment decisions, strategy decisions, but also for the engineer to improve cell sites, etc.
Okay.
So that's the second one. The third one is once you have this analysis, I think there's still a gap. I call it the engineering gap.
Yeah.
Once you have all this analysis, how do you improve the networks? And we provide services that help the carriers actually implement changes and then run the cycle again and make sure it actually works.
So where does the U.S. stand? You said you're mainly U.S. customers right now. Where does the U.S. stand with customer experience from the wireless providers?
Yeah, so the US is a very interesting place. Technology-wise, the US is spearheading globally the technology evolution. First ones to really roll out nationwide LTE networks, voice over LTE. So the functions and the new technology is being implemented pretty quickly. In terms of customer experience, I think the US is a very challenging geography. First of all, geography-wise, a very big country and population-wise is not as dense, for example, or uniformly dense as some networks in Europe. So that has some influence on the customer experience because the networks are being built out first in the metro areas.
Okay. So how has P3 helped with networks worldwide?
Yeah, so we do this globally. We established a global standard for measuring network performance. We call it the P3 methodology and P3 score. It helps you compare investments in or network performance in different countries across time. So if you're, for example, a large operator group that operates in many countries, you need to compare how do all these national operators compare in the networks, and where should I invest, and does the investment pay off? We do this, and with the public benchmarking when we do this, we put transparency in the market, and that normally puts pressure on the market, and you can actually see in countries where we do measure, you can see a tremendous increase in network performance over time.
So I guess, what's your secret sauce? What makes P3 special compared to other similar competitors, especially in the wireless benchmarking?
Yeah, I think it's because we have the end in mind. We come from an engineering background, not so much from pure testing. So we know how to optimize networks, what kind of data the engineers need, what the customer experience really is, and we put, over time, we put the tool set together to get all the action and data ourselves so we can do our job. And it turns out it's not only us that feel these gaps, but also the carriers, and so we filled that over time. That's a differentiator for P3.
Okay, so how are you evolving your testing and measurement processes and your technologies to get ready for 5G, because everybody's talking about 5G here?
Yeah, 5G is very interesting to me because it's a network that is designed not for the use case that the 4G networks were designed. 4G networks were mostly designed for voice communication and data-centric, but personal communication with your smartphone.
Yeah.
5G is, in 5G that is just one application amongst many. So in our testing space, the number of use cases and test cases are going to explode. That's a challenge. First of all, nobody really knows what kind of use cases we have. There's some models around this. We're evolving this. We're getting into new verticals, cooperation with automotive companies. We've got a subsidiary just for automotive space. Aviation, right now we do a very cool project with one company where we do network planning inside an airplane.
Oh, wow.
Because you're going to have, in 5G, you're going to have connectivity in the airplane, native connectivity, but that needs modeling and engineering. So we're stretching our arms and getting into these new use cases.
Okay. Well, it's exciting to see what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They get like the mind rails, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining me today, Dirk.
Thanks a lot.
See you later.